Hello everyone, welcome to the Engineering Projects YouTube channel. My name is Junaid Shahid, and in this video we are going to implement identity in our application. Identity is a module which is given by the .NET team to integrate user management system, and you can customize that easily. It will give you 4 things which are majorly very important in any application. You have a user table where you can store the information of the user. You have the role table where you can create the information of the roles. Then you have a mapping table, user roles, where you can store individual user into the individual role. You can add multiple roles to one user, and then you have a table for claims and policies. You can create permission system to user, you can permission system to roles, and so on, things which you can done easily in identity. So in the last video we have implemented the get in our application, and now it's time to add identity in our application. Let's see on my laptop. Here you can see we have a sample application which is developed in the previous video, and here is that. So before getting started, I will let you know you need to go for sync. Once you are synced with this application with the help of Git, and we have all the latest code, we can integrate identity easily. So when I will integrate identity, I will comment it and you can get that easily. So in the ASP.NET Core 2.2 there is no UI available for the identity. So what we need to do, we need to right click on the solution or the project and go for NuGet Package Manager. Then we need to search for the identity UI. So let me close this and browse and search for identity UI. Here you can see we have ASP.NET Core.identity.ui which we need to install in our application. Just click here and install. It will add identity tables and all the stuff automatically in your application, so you don't need to be worried about that. Okay, it will give you a sample pages. It will create a new area with the name of identity and create some customized page which are used for user registration, login, password recovery, and so on. Right after this, we need to configure its services in Dependency Injection with the help of starter.cs class. So here you can see it is done and area is represented here, and here you can see this is the identity and pages and so on things. Next thing is to add the dependency injection in startup.cs class. So right after the configure service, here you can see this is the configure services, and here is the configure. Okay, so we need to add some things in configure services where we will add the identity. Here you can see the identity user is already implemented here, but we need to add something more. We will use here is add default identity. We can use for identity role. You need to search for that. By default it is allowing you to add identity user, but if you want to work with role management, you also need to do that. How you will do that? You will add, instead of default, you will say add identity, okay, and identity user, then role. In the options you can say that store maximum length for key or whatever you want to do that. Next is to add entity framework store. So you need to store the things. Here you can see add identity stores. You are storing this thing into this context, and you are setting the UI framework which is Bootstrap 4 and so on things. Okay, The default UI method does the trick here. It will add the UI in your application. Okay, so what we need to do, we need to run this application now. Execute this. Okay, now our application is execute, and here you can see it is saying that accept the policies and so on things. Let me register myself. Okay, this is the identity UI. It is automatically create the account folder which is considered as a controller. This is area, controller and page. Now I will register myself as theenggprojects.com, and here I have a specific password requirement and register, and it says that password must have at least one non-alpha numeric character, so I need this 1.2 and paste that here, and now we are successfully get registered in this application. Okay, so it's created automatically a user. I don't need to work on the registration system. I don't need to work on the user login system. Okay, so it says that you need to run the migration. Okay, so let's run the migration. Either we can apply migration from here, or we can do that into the console and hit this update database. So the migration is applying right now. Actually what happened, try to refresh the page. Okay, let's refresh the page and register once again. Okay, this is my password, tep.com, register, and this is get registered. Okay, now we need to go for login, or either we can check what is the data available in our database. So how we will do that, we go to databases and search for the database which is associated with this application, the engineering projects, and open its table, and here you got this table. The user information is stored in this table, so view data, and here you can see we have this login available. Copy this login and go to our application. This is email and 1.2 is the password, and login, and we are successfully get login in our application. You can log out. So the sample application is get ready. If you are wanted to add more modules in this, like you want to create something different, you want to create different views for this, you can do that too. Okay, you can add that easily. How you can do that? Simply go for this, add, first of all stop this, new scaffold item, and here you will see the different things which are available, and you can click here in identity and click identity here and add. It will ask you for the views which you want to generate: access denied, forget password, login, logout, manage statuses, and so on. If I will click here and click on add, it will implement all these things. So I'm using this context and hit add. It will create these all pages, so I can manage my stuff like my status. I can update my profile, I can reset my password from profile, and so on. Things can be easily done here. we have created a simple identity management, user and role management in this application. But what happens if we need some fields which are not available in this identity? We have to implement the custom users and custom roles, and we will do that in this video too. So in the first half we have implemented the identity, and now it's time to implement the custom identity fields, which is a really important part. When you're working with the ERP application, you need different fields. As you can see, we have username, normalized username, email, normalized email name. But where is the name of the user? I need to store the user name, the name by which I can call a user or identify a user. The username is unique, but the name can be replicated. So what we will do, we will create a data in the data, or sorry, not in models. Let me create a new class named as application user. You can create any class, give it any name, but mostly the term in market is used as application user, by which you can get to know this is extended by identity user. Extend that by identity user. Okay, so it is now inherited by the base class. Now we want to add a field which is not available, like name. Type a string, and here I will reflect a name. Remember that name is not available here. Okay, name it not available here. I am going to add that explicitly. Right after this, what you need to do, you need to implement this class in your startup. So ASP.NET Core get to know you are not using a identity user, you are using application user. Okay, so I have done that, and there is no error appear here. Now the next thing is to add migration. Now it's time to add migration. Let me add migration and give it a name like adding application user name, and hit enter. It will create a migration for you, and right after the migration you need to update the database. So the migration is running now. Okay, it is done. Now it's time to update database, and it will update your database. Now right after updation of database, it's time to check what values are available in your tables. So let's expand .NET users, expand the columns, and here you will see there is no name column available. Now refresh. Okay, now here you will see no name is available right now. Okay, let us check the migration in the data. Migration username. Okay, name is available in user token, provider key, provider, and so on. Name is available in user. Let me check. This is a user identity. The name is added into the wrong table. It is added into this table. Okay, let us do clean this project. Remove this, add migration 1, and let's see what is generated here. Migration 1 is created, nothing is there, and in ASP.NET, ASP.NET Core .NET users, okay, name is not added here. For sake of time, we can add that manually. Simply we can do that here, but I will not bypass any thing. So let me close this, rebuild the application, go to your startup class, you are using this. Now go to the registration pages, register, here is the register CS HTML. Now replace identity user with application user, and wherever the identity user is used, replace that. Okay, we can simply do that by searching and replacing. So I will search in this page by Control Shift F, and then I will search and look in the current page, replace with this, and search for identity user. So it's replaced all the things and all the stuff, but no error occur right now. Now we need to add a field here to get information of the name. This is the email and there is no name is available. So what we will do, we will add here name. So the name field is available now. Now we need to go for the search here, the registration page, and add a field which is not required, name. Okay, now we need to go for the post and add that field here as name is equal input dot name, and that's it. Now this application user is added in our user management create async, and this user is created successfully with the new name. So let's execute this application after refreshing this database. Refresh the database. Okay, let's see how many columns are there. No name is available. Once again, add migration, and let's see is this column is available in migration or not. Okay, migration is ready. Go to the migration page, which is working, and new migration is available. Okay, nothing is available here. Okay, one thing more, in your DB context you need to identify which DB set you are using if you have customized anything. Okay, the rest of the things are fine, And now here in the DB context snapshot we have ASP.NET users. Okay, even that you can add manually in this table. If I will go for designer, and add a field name having varchar 50 and which is nullable, and update this, and it will take some time, and then update the database, and we are done. Now when we will create a new record, done, execute the application, and now when we will create a new record, it is unable to save our custom field which is name of the user. We will create a user with a custom name and store in application and review from database. And right after that we are finished with this tutorial, in which we have learned how to add identity in application, how to add different pages of identity in application, and how to add customized fields in identity. So our application is executing, and here the application is available. So now this is our application which is ready. When you will click on register, you have a new form having a new field name, and now I can enter my name here, a new email. Okay, and now the password which is somehow this, and register, and it's already exists, so this. Okay, so now I am registered successfully. Now it's time to check the database, view data. Okay, now we have a new field having a name. I don't know where it is. Okay, let me refresh this database. And refresh this, and we have this new column. And now let's view their data, and here in the last you will see for this column I have name, and for this I don't have name. It is the previous one, and it is the latest code which we have done. Now we are going to check in this code, so you will get this and understand how it's work. So stop the application. I will go into the team, go for changes, and add a comment: identity management implementation, and comment all. So you are done with this. You just need to sync the application and get the latest version. Okay, I just need to sync this to send this check-in to the server, and you can get that from by clicking on fetch, and pull will insert that in your application, and you are having a new module available in your application. So we are done with this application. We have implemented the identity in our current application. We have implemented the identity UI, custom pages. We have implemented customized column in the identity user, and you can get that from Git easily because I have checked in that and push my code online. So you will get this code and check that how I have implemented the code. You can learn how identity implement in this video, and you can get thoroughly view from the code. If you like this video, don't forget to share it with your friends, family member, LinkedIn, on Facebook and Twitter. Don't forget to subscribe our YouTube channel if you want to learn more about ASP.NET Core.